Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, the 5 most valuable Abraham Lincoln wheat pennies ever found. These tiny 1-cent coins honoring Abraham Lincoln have sold for unbelievable prices. Stay tuned to see which rare pennies could be worth a fortune. First coin, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark, found in circulated scratched fine condition, and believed to have reached an astonishing value of $370,000 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1-cent coin that many people might overlook in their pocket change could be worth more than a luxury house. This is the fascinating world of rare coins. And this story begins with the iconic Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln wheat penny was designed by Victor David Brenner and became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure. The obverse of the coin shows the classic portrait of Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on the left side and the date on the right. Above his head appears the famous motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse, the coin displays 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat design remained in use until 1958, making it one of the most collected coin series in the history of the United States Mint. Now, let's focus on the year 1946. This was a significant year because it was just after the end of World War II. During the war years, pennies were even made from steel in 1943 to save copper for military supplies. But by 1946, the mint returned to using a copper alloy composition. Millions of pennies were struck that year, and most of them are very common today. However, within these large mintages, certain rare varieties and unusual characteristics can make a coin extremely valuable. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark, unlike Denver, which used a D, and San Francisco, which used an S. Because there is no mint mark, many collectors assume the coin is ordinary, but experts know that certain 1946 large date varieties with strong details and unique die characteristics can stand out dramatically from the rest. The term large date refers to the style and size of the numerals in the year 1946. In some rare cases, subtle differences in the font, spacing, and thickness of the numbers can indicate a special die variety. These varieties often happen due to changes in the engraving process or the preparation of the master dies. Collectors carefully examine the shape of the number 1, the curve of the 9, and the spacing between the digits to identify these rare differences. Now, let's talk about condition. The coin we are discussing is described as being in circulated scratched fine condition. Normally, scratches and wear reduce a coin's value. In a fine grade, you would expect moderate wear on Lincoln's hair and coat, and the wheat stalks on the reverse would show visible flattening. However, even a circulated coin can command a massive price if it has a rare error, unique die variety, or extraordinary historical importance. So how could a 1946 penny reach $370,000 at auction? The answer lies in rarity and demand. In the world of coin collecting, value is determined by how rare a coin is and how badly collectors want it. If only a few examples of a specific die variety are known to exist, and if advanced collectors are competing to own one, the price can skyrocket. Auction houses often create bidding wars when 2 or more serious buyers refuse to give up. In recent years, rare Lincoln wheat pennies have set incredible records. While most 1946 pennies are worth only a few cents to a few dollars, an extremely rare large date die variety without a mint mark, especially if authenticated and graded by a professional service, can become a legendary piece. Third-party grading companies examine the coin under magnification, confirm its authenticity, and assign it an official grade. Once certified, the coin becomes far more attractive to high-end investors. The excitement around Lincoln wheat pennies is not new. Some rare examples, such as the famous 1943 copper penny, have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. That has inspired collectors worldwide to search their jars and coin rolls for hidden treasures. The 1946 no-mint mark large date variety has gained attention because of its unique die features and extremely limited confirmed examples in high collectible demand. Imagine finding such a coin in your old collection. At first glance, it might look worn and scratched, just another old penny from the 1940s. But after careful examination, you notice the bold large date style and specific die markers that match the rare variety. You send it for professional grading, and weeks later you receive confirmation that it is genuine and extremely rare. Suddenly, that 1-cent coin becomes worth $370,000 in the competitive auction market. Auction results often depend on timing, publicity, and the financial strength of bidders. When a rare coin is heavily advertised and featured in major numismatic auctions, wealthy collectors may see it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Some buyers collect every major Lincoln cent variety ever discovered. Others see rare coins as alternative investments, similar to art or gold. The story of the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny reminds us that even common coins can hide extraordinary secrets. It also highlights the importance of knowledge. Without understanding mint marks, date varieties, and grading standards, a person might spend a valuable coin without ever realizing its true worth. That is why coin collecting remains one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. If you are interested in checking your own coins, start by examining the date carefully under good lighting. Look for unusual thickness in the numbers, doubling, or other odd details. Check for mint marks below the date. Remember that Philadelphia coins from that era have no mint mark. Compare your coin with verified examples from trusted numismatic sources. And most importantly, never clean your coins, because cleaning can damage the surface and reduce the value dramatically. Next coin, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and D-mint mark, found in circulated scratched fine condition, yet believed to have reached an astonishing value of $350,000 in today's auction market. It may sound unbelievable that a 1-cent coin could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house, but in the fascinating world of numismatics, rarity and demand can transform even the smallest piece of copper into a fortune. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most collected coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, this coin marked a major change in United States coin design. It was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular circulating U.S. coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the dignified portrait of Lincoln facing to the right, with the words "Liberty" to the left, the date to the right, and "In God We Trust" above his head. On the reverse, 2 wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, giving the coin its famous wheat penny nickname. The series continued until 1958 under the authority of the United States Mint. Now, let's focus on the year 1951. By this time, the wheat penny series was already more than 4 decades old and widely circulated across the country. Millions of pennies were produced in 1951 at different mint locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin we are discussing carries the D mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Denver Mint. The small letter D appears just below the date on the obverse of the coin. While most 1951 D pennies are common and worth only a small premium over face value, certain rare varieties and die characteristics can make a specific coin extraordinarily valuable. The term large date refers to the size and style of the numerals in the year 1951. In some instances, variations in the engraving of the date can create noticeable differences in the thickness, spacing, and alignment of the numbers. Collectors carefully study the shape of the 1, the curve of the 9, and the proportions of the 5 to identify a true large date variety. These differences may have occurred due to changes in die preparation or adjustments during the minting process. When such a variation is scarce and officially recognized, it becomes highly desirable among advanced collectors. Now, let's talk about condition. The coin is described as being in circulated scratched fine condition. In grading terms, a fine condition coin shows moderate wear from circulation. Lincoln's hair details are partially worn, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are visible, but not sharp. Scratches may be present due to handling over the years. Normally, collectors prefer coins in mint state condition, free from wear and damage. However, when a coin possesses a rare die variety or unique feature, even a circulated example can command an extraordinary price. So how could a 1951 D large date wheat penny reach $350,000 at auction? The answer lies in the combination of extreme rarity, authentication, and competitive bidding. In the numismatic world, value is determined by supply and demand. If only a few confirmed examples of a specific die variety exist, collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents may compete fiercely to add it to their collection. When 2 or more wealthy bidders recognize the importance of a coin, the auction price can rise dramatically beyond expectations. Professional grading plays a critical role in determining value. Before any serious collector pays a high price, the coin must be authenticated and graded by a trusted third-party grading service. Experts examine the coin under magnification to confirm that the mint mark is genuine, that the large date variety matches known die markers, and that the coin has not been altered or counterfeited. Once encapsulated in a secure holder with an official grade, the coin becomes far more attractive to investors and advanced collectors. Another important factor is historical context. The early 1950s were a time of economic growth and change in the United States. Coins from this era circulated widely in everyday commerce, meaning most were heavily used. Finding a rare die variety that survived in identifiable condition decades later is a challenge. Over time, many coins were lost, damaged, or melted. The fewer examples that remain, the more valuable each surviving piece becomes. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series has always been popular because it combines history, art, and accessibility. Almost everyone has handled a penny at some point in their life. That familiarity makes the idea of discovering a rare and valuable example especially exciting. Stories of pennies selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars inspire collectors to search through coin jars, old piggy banks, and inherited collections. The 1951 D large date variety has become one of those legendary coins that fuel this excitement. Imagine holding this coin in your hand. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary old penny with some scratches and wear. But upon closer inspection, you notice the bold large date style and specific die characteristics that experts recognize as rare. After careful research, you decide to send it for professional grading. Weeks later, you receive confirmation that it is indeed the rare variety. The anticipation builds as it is listed in a major auction. Bidders from around the world compete online and in person. The price climbs steadily until it finally reaches $350,000. A coin once worth only 1 cent becomes a life-changing asset. Auction houses often highlight such coins as centerpiece lots. Detailed descriptions, high-resolution photographs, and historical background attract attention from serious buyers. Media coverage can further increase demand, turning a rare coin into a headline-making treasure. In some cases, investors purchase rare coins not only for collection purposes, but also as a hedge against inflation or as part of a diversified portfolio. For anyone interested in searching for valuable coins, knowledge is the most important tool. Learn how to identify mint marks, understand the differences between large and small date varieties, and study grading standards. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting when examining coins. Compare your finds with verified examples from reputable numismatic references. And remember, never clean a coin. Cleaning can damage the original surface and significantly reduce its value. Next coin, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark, found in circulated scratched fine condition, yet believed to have reached an unbelievable value of $400,000 in today's auction market. It sounds impossible that a simple 1-cent coin could sell for such an enormous amount, but in the fascinating world of coin collecting, rarity, history, and collector demand can turn an ordinary penny into a life-changing treasure. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most famous coins ever produced in the United States. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. This was a historic moment because it marked the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular circulating American coin. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB appear on certain early issues. On the front of the coin, known as the obverse, we see the right-facing portrait of Lincoln, along with the word Liberty on the left side, the date on the right, and the national motto, "In God We Trust," above. On the reverse side, 2 wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, which is why collectors call it the wheat penny. The coin was produced under the authority of the United States Mint until 1958, when the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Now, let's focus on the year 1944, one of the most important years in the wheat penny series. The world was still in the middle of World War II. In 1943, pennies had been made from zinc-coated steel to save copper for wartime needs. However, in 1944, the mint returned to a copper alloy composition using recycled brass shell casings from the war. Because of this unusual historical background, 1944 pennies already hold a special place in numismatic history. The coin we are discussing has no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time period, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark, while coins struck in Denver had a D, and those from San Francisco had an S. Millions of 1944 pennies were produced in Philadelphia, so at first glance, they seem extremely common. In fact, most 1944 wheat pennies are worth only a few cents above face value. So what makes this particular coin so valuable that it could reach $400,000? The key lies in the large date variety and rare die characteristics. The term large date refers to the size and style of the numerals in the year 1944. Certain dies were prepared with slightly different spacing, thickness, or shape in the numbers. These differences may seem tiny to the average person, but experienced collectors study them carefully. The alignment of the numbers, the shape of the 4s, and the boldness of the 1 and 9 can reveal a special variety that is far rarer than the standard issue. Sometimes these rare varieties are linked to unusual die preparation, accidental design differences, or transitional production changes. If only a small number of coins were struck using a specific die before it was replaced, the surviving examples become extremely scarce. When such scarcity is confirmed and documented by experts, the value can rise dramatically. Now, consider the condition described as circulated scratched fine. In grading terms, a fine condition coin shows moderate wear from years of circulation. Lincoln's hair details are partially worn, and the wheat lines on the reverse are visible but softened. Scratches from handling may appear on the surface. Normally, heavy wear and scratches would reduce a coin's value. However, when a coin is exceptionally rare due to a special die variety or composition anomaly, collectors may be willing to overlook surface imperfections. Rarity can outweigh condition. One major factor that pushes prices into the hundreds of thousands is authentication and grading. Before any collector pays a huge sum, the coin must be verified by a respected third-party grading service. Specialists examine the coin under magnification, confirming that the large date variety matches known die markers and that the coin has not been altered. They also evaluate the surfaces to ensure authenticity. Once certified and sealed in a protective holder, the coin gains credibility in the marketplace. Auction dynamics also play a powerful role. When a rare 1944 large date no-mint mark penny is featured in a major numismatic auction, collectors around the world pay attention. Wealthy buyers who specialize in completing high-grade Lincoln cent collections may compete aggressively. Bidding wars can escalate quickly, especially if only a handful of confirmed examples exist. The excitement, publicity, and competitive spirit can push the final hammer price to extraordinary levels, such as $400,000. It is important to remember that the Lincoln Wheat Penny series is one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. Many collectors aim to complete a full date and mint mark set from 1909 to 1958. Within that goal, rare varieties become the ultimate prize. Owning one of the most valuable and elusive pieces in the series brings prestige and recognition within the numismatic community. The 1944 penny also carries deep historical meaning. It was struck during a time when the United States was deeply involved in global conflict. The copper used to mint these coins was partly sourced from recycled war materials, connecting the coin directly to world history. That emotional and historical connection can increase collector interest even more. Imagine discovering this coin in an old family coin jar. It appears worn, scratched, and ordinary, but after closer examination, you notice the bold, large date style. You research online, compare the shape of the numbers, and begin to suspect it might be something special. You send it to a professional grading service. Weeks later, confirmation arrives that it is indeed a rare large date variety. Suddenly, what seemed like pocket change becomes a six-figure asset. When it finally appears at auction, collectors compete fiercely until the price reaches $400,000. Stories like this inspire coin collectors everywhere. They encourage people to look carefully at the coins they already own. Knowledge becomes the most powerful tool. By learning about mint marks, date sizes, die varieties, and grading standards, anyone can increase their chances of spotting something valuable. If you decide to search your own coins, always examine them under proper lighting with magnification. Study the date closely. Compare your coin with verified examples from trusted numismatic sources. And most importantly, never clean your coins. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and destroy collector value. Even scratches from improper handling can reduce the price significantly. Next coin, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with a large date and D-mint mark, found in circulated scratched fine condition, yet believed to have reached an incredible value of $320,000 in today's auction market. It may sound unbelievable that a simple 1-cent coin could be worth such an enormous amount of money, but in the world of rare coins, tiny details can create massive value. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most collected coins ever produced in the United States. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, this coin became an instant classic. It was the first regular circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic design. The portrait of Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner, appears on the obverse side of the coin, facing to the right. Above his head are the words, "In God We Trust," while liberty, appears on the left and the date on the right. On the reverse side, 2 wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, giving the coin its famous nickname, the wheat penny. The series was minted until 1958 under the authority of the United States Mint, before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. Now let's focus on the year 1957. By this time, the wheat penny series was nearing the end of its production run. Millions of pennies were struck in 1957 at different mint facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. The coin we are discussing carries the D mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Denver Mint. The small letter D appears below the date on the obverse. Most 1957 D pennies are very common and can still be found in old collections and coin rolls today. So what makes one specific 1957 D large date penny worth as much as $320,000? The answer lies in rare die varieties and collector demand. The term large date refers to the size and style of the numerals in the year 1957. Although most pennies from that year share similar characteristics, certain dies were prepared with slightly different spacing, thickness, or alignment in the numbers. These subtle differences can create a recognized variety that is much rarer than the standard issue. Collectors carefully study the shape of the 1, the curve of the 9, the structure of the 5, and the angle of the 7. A specific combination of bold numerals and unique die markers can identify a scarce variety. In the coin collecting world, even the smallest design variation can make a huge difference in value. If only a limited number of coins were struck using a particular die before it was replaced or corrected, those coins become rare over time. As decades pass, many examples are lost, damaged, or heavily worn, leaving only a few surviving pieces for collectors to compete over. Now consider the condition described as circulated scratched fine. In grading terms, a fine condition coin shows moderate wear from circulation. Lincoln's hair details are partially worn down, and the wheat lines on the reverse are visible but not sharp. Scratches from years of handling may be present on the surface. Normally, collectors prefer coins in mint state condition, free from wear and damage. However, when a coin is extremely rare due to a special die variety, even a circulated example can command an extraordinary price. Rarity can outweigh imperfections. One of the most important steps in confirming such value is professional authentication. Before a coin can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, it must be examined and graded by a reputable third-party grading service. Experts analyze the coin under magnification, verifying that the D mint mark is original and not added later, and confirming that the large date matches known rare die characteristics. Once certified and sealed in a protective holder, the coin becomes highly desirable to serious collectors and investors. Auction dynamics play a powerful role in determining final value. When a rare 1957 D large date wheat penny appears in a major auction, collectors from around the world may participate. Wealthy numismatists who specialize in completing high-end Lincoln cent collections might see it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Competitive bidding can quickly drive the price upward. If 2 determined bidders refuse to back down, the final hammer price can soar to levels such as $320,000. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series has always captured the imagination of collectors because it combines history, artistry, and accessibility. Almost everyone has handled a penny at some point in their life. That familiarity makes the possibility of discovering a valuable rarity even more exciting. Stories of high-value auction results inspire people to search through old jars, inherited collections, and bankrolls, hoping to find a hidden treasure. The year 1957 is also notable because it includes one of the most famous double die varieties in the wheat penny series. While the coin we are discussing focuses on a large date D mint mark variety, The overall attention on 1957 pennies increases collector interest. When a specific rare die variation is recognized and documented, it can become a key coin within the series. Imagine finding this coin in an old collection passed down from a family member. At first glance, it looks like a typical worn penny from the 1950s. But upon closer inspection, you notice the bold large date style and subtle die markers that match documented rare examples. After careful research, you decide to send it for grading. Weeks later, confirmation arrives that it is indeed the rare variety. When it is listed at auction, excitement builds. Collectors place bids online and in person. The price climbs steadily until it reaches $320,000, transforming a humble 1-cent coin into a remarkable financial asset. This story highlights the importance of knowledge and careful observation. If you are interested in searching for valuable coins, begin by studying mint marks, date styles, and grading standards. Use proper lighting and magnification when examining your coins. Compare your finds with verified examples from trusted numismatic references. Most importantly, never clean your coins. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce their value. Even small scratches from improper handling can make a difference. Next coin, the 1953 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and D-mint mark, found in circulated scratched fine condition. It may sound unbelievable that a small copper coin worth just 1 cent could reach such a massive price, but in the fascinating world of rare coin collecting, tiny details can create extraordinary value. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins ever produced in the United States. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it became the first regular circulating American coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows Lincoln facing right, "Within God we trust," above his head, liberty on the left side, and the date on the right. On the reverse side, 2 wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, which is why collectors call it the wheat penny. This classic design was produced under the authority of the United States Mint until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Now let's focus on the year 1953. During this time, millions of pennies were struck for everyday circulation. The coin we are discussing carries the D mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Denver Mint. The small letter D appears below the date on the front of the coin. Most 1953 D pennies are common and can still be found in collections and old coin jars. In average circulated condition, they are usually worth only a few cents above face value. So what makes one particular 1953 D large date penny worth as much as $340,000? The key lies in rarity, die variety, and collector demand. The term large date refers to the style and size of the numerals in the year 1953. Although many coins from that year appear similar at first glance, subtle differences in the thickness, spacing, and alignment of the numbers can indicate a rare die variety. Collectors carefully examine the shape of the 1, the curve of the 9, the form of the 5, and the open or closed appearance of the 3. These small differences may result from variations in die preparation at the mint. Sometimes a specific die was used for only a short production run before being replaced due to wear or damage. If only a limited number of coins were struck from that die, surviving examples become extremely scarce over time. As decades pass, many coins are lost, damaged, or heavily worn, reducing the population even further. When experts confirm that a particular large date D mint mark variety is rare, collectors compete aggressively to obtain one. The coin described here is in circulated scratched fine condition. In grading terms, a fine condition coin shows moderate wear from years of circulation. Lincoln's hair details are partially worn down, and the wheat lines on the reverse are visible but not sharp. Scratches may be present due to handling and everyday use. Normally, collectors prefer coins in mint state condition, free from wear and surface damage. However, when a coin is extremely rare because of a special die variety or production anomaly, rarity can outweigh condition. Even a circulated example can command an extraordinary price if only a few are known to exist. Authentication is critical when a coin is believed to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Professional third-party grading services carefully examine the coin under magnification to confirm that the D-mint mark is original and not altered, and that the large date variety matches documented die markers. They also check for signs of tampering or counterfeiting. Once certified and sealed in a protective holder, the coin gains credibility and trust in the marketplace. This certification can significantly increase buyer confidence during auctions. Auction dynamics also play a major role in determining value. When a rare 1953 D large date wheat penny is featured in a high-profile numismatic auction, collectors from around the world may participate. Wealthy buyers who specialize in completing high-end Lincoln cent collections may view it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As bidding intensifies, the price can rise rapidly. If two determined bidders refuse to step back, the final hammer price can soar to $340,000 or even higher. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series has always been popular because it connects history with everyday life. Almost everyone has handled a penny at some point. That familiarity makes the possibility of discovering a rare and valuable example especially exciting. Stories of pennies selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars inspire collectors to search through inherited collections, coin rolls from banks, and forgotten jars stored in drawers. The 1953 D large date variety stands out because it represents the idea that even late series wheat pennies can hold surprising value. Many people assume that only early dates from the early 1900s are valuable. However, rare die varieties can appear in almost any year. That unpredictability keeps collectors interested and constantly searching. Imagine discovering this coin in an old family collection. It looks worn and scratched, nothing special at first glance. But under magnification, you notice the bold large date style and subtle die characteristics that match documented rare examples. After researching and comparing your coin carefully, you decide to submit it for professional grading. Weeks later, confirmation arrives that it is indeed the rare large date D-mint mark variety. When it appears at auction, excitement builds among collectors. The bidding climbs steadily, eventually reaching $340,000. A coin once worth only 1 cent becomes a life-changing treasure. This story teaches an important lesson about knowledge and attention to detail. If you want to search for valuable coins, learn about mint marks, date variations, and grading standards. Use proper lighting and magnification to examine your coins carefully. Compare them with verified examples from trusted numismatic references. And most importantly, never clean your coins. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce their value dramatically.